This week we are talking about when we decided to socially transition and how that went. Let's see. I had thought of the idea of being trans for a long time before I actually acted on it. It was early in graduate school when I had started thinking, when I found out what being trans was, and realized that people could change from female to male. Since that discovery, I had done a lot of online research and stuff like that. This was about, I don't know, like 2005, 2006-ish. Yeah. So, I had started thinking prior to that I was not female and not a woman, but I didn't really know quite what it was. And so I had said I was genderqueer, or that I don't know, I kind of cringe when people say things that are womanly and stuff like that about me. But in early 2006, I performed drag for the first time, and that was really great, except that I don't know, performing makes me really nervous, so I was so nervous about the performing aspect. But after that, I realized that the part I liked about it the most was just being a guy. And so I had talked about this with my partner at the time, and my girlfriend, and she wasn't really that supportive of me transitioning or me doing drag or anything like that. So it just kind of got put by the wayside for a little while. It would come up every now and then, oh, what would you think if this or that or the other thing, and I don't know, just kind of kept it to ourselves for a while. And then when we broke up for, totally different reasons than gender, I started looking at myself more and spending that time with myself to figure out what I really wanted to do, regardless of, who I was dating. So, this is late 2006. I had moved out late 2006, early 2007, and so I was living with friends and just kind of slowly exploring what it would mean to be trans, and gradually saying, bringing it up with my friends, what would you think if I decided to be a boy, or what do you think about trans people, or I think I might not be a woman, I think I might be a boy, just things like that. And my friends were really supportive, so that made things a lot easier. I started seeing someone in February of 2007, and she had dated trans guys before, and when I was introduced to her, I don't think she knew that I was trans, because I hadn't really decided 100%, but I was strongly leaning that way. And so then we went on a few dates or whatever, and I talked to her about it, and she was really fine with it, and started using male pronouns even though I didn't ask her to. And so that was really helpful, just having somebody be supportive and kind of help you along, because I was oh, whatever, pronouns, I don't really care, I haven't decided yet. And then trying to decide on my name was a process too, but I wanted something similar to my birth name, so I just ended up with a shortened version of my birth name, And so it was really easy for people to just say, you know, the shortened version of my birth name and not have to change too much. So the name thing wasn't really an issue, but like slowly people started getting the pronouns, and it wasn't until like, you know, early to mid 2007 that like I full-time identified as trans. Even though I had been binding ever since I started doing drag, like I just really loved the look of a flat chest. So I'd been binding for a while, and like still identifying more as genderqueer than as trans. And then I got like, I don't know, it just kind of happened very gradually for me. I was trans for like 2 years before I decided to medically do anything about it. So most of my transition has been social. Like, yeah, I don't know. I really didn't like come out like, hey everybody, I'm trans and I've just made this decision. It was very much like trying to test the waters and like see what people would think about it, and then gradually getting more and more comfortable with my identity, and then, you know, finally getting to a point where I could say to somebody new, like, I'm trans, or come out to my family and stuff like that. I had come out to my sister in sort of the early stages, like after I had decided I was trans, but like towards the earlier end of it. So you know, just trying to test it out, because she's probably the one who would take it the easiest, because, I don't know, we don't really live near each other. She's 2 years younger than me, and she's all like, oh, well, you've always been my brother anyway, so that was fine. And I don't know, it was very good that it was like kind of slow and gradual. I didn't change my name legally until last May, like not this past May, but the May before that, 2008. But it's close. My chosen name is close enough to my birth name that it wasn't really a problem. On like online networking sites and stuff like that, I changed my name after I had decided on a new one, but before I actually legally changed it. And I took my gender off of most of my profiles that I could. So, so like Facebook doesn't have my gender down. MySpace, I changed it to male, like, I don't know, maybe like a year or so into my process. So everything was really gradual. It wasn't just like overnight, but I mean, I guess like people who like live farther away from me like think it was kind of fast, but the people who were here with me like processing it like know that it was a really long process, and took, you know, more than a year for me to fully decide on everything. I mean, I still like, you know, wonder about things now and then, like, you know, what things I want to do to transition and what things I don't want to, and it's like perfectly fine to change your mind in terms of what you want to have done. So, yeah. In terms of correcting people, I correct people a little more now, but I don't really correct people that much. I usually let other people around me correct the person who made the mistake. Because, I don't know, it's kind of hard to talk about yourself in the third person, but also I'm just kind of shy, so I don't know. But yeah, like, if you're somebody who like doesn't quite know if they're trans or not, totally like, you know, feel it out. If you're somebody who knows that they're trans and doesn't necessarily know what, like, hormones or surgery or whatever you want, like, just take your time, because it's totally valid to, like, chill out and take your time and figure out what you want to do in your own time. There's no, like, set timeline of, like, oh my god, you know you're trans, now you have to go to therapy, now you have to get T, now you have to have surgery. It's not like that. So, I mean, just take your time, talk with your friends, talk with your family, talk to whoever's important to you, and figure things out for yourself. Yeah, there's no rules, so good luck.